What if I told you that one simple act, one that involves nothing more than reading aloud, could hold the key to unlocking your deepest desires? This isn't just another think positive strategy, and it's not just another technique thrown together to get views. This is a scientific approach that's systematically set up to manifest what you truly want, and it's inspired by the work of the legendary metaphysical teacher Neville Goddard. I've developed a revolutionary method, and it combines this ancient wisdom from scripture, from Neville, from mentioned in many different texts with modern data-driven techniques. And this approach has been tested and refined for over a decade. I've been doing this for over 12 years, systematically testing this, which shows undeniable, predictable results. Today I'm introducing the read aloud technique. Imagine, just in minutes each day, you could systematically plant your deepest desires into your subconscious easily, allowing them to take root and grow into your reality, into the fabric of time-space. This technique is rooted in Neville Goddard's teachings, as many of mine are, but they are systematically tested, so they are not just reciting them, but in other words, putting them to the test and giving you what works, what has been proven time and time again through my own testing and those of my subscribers, viewers, and clients. But paired with the latest insights also in neuroscience and quantum physics. I am a mathematician, I am a physicist. That's what I went to university for. That's what I love to read and research every day. It's powerful, it's precise, and it's real. And just a heads up, right? This is not, like I said, something that I've read in the hundreds of books on manifesting, on math, on physics, quantum physics. This isn't some self-help idea or technique. This is not something you're going to hear on another channel, and this isn't something that you can read in a book. This is something that has to be extracted through experience, which is why I'm giving it to you. This, in and of itself, is one of the first powerful techniques that I've come up with utilizing Neville's teachings, but those that I have effectively seen work most effective, most powerful, most quick. And the reason that it does this is because of the way that manifesting works. But let me go over the technique first. The idea is you're going to need some sort of script with this, which I'll go over in a little bit. But first, let me break down the exact explanation of what you have to do. So here's how it works, right? You got to find a quiet place, a comfortable place where you won't be disturbed. That's really important. Don't go somewhere where someone's going to barge in, right? You need to be able to relax and let your mind be peaceful. Sometimes this isn't going to work if you're in the middle of the day at work or something like that. It has to be done where you can set aside time, even for just a few minutes, but nevertheless, it has to be in a place where you can focus without worry of being watched, overheard, or anything otherwise that's going to get you distracted. And so effectively, as you sit down, you want to dim the lights. If you have some music, what this does is it helps to put you in a calm and relaxed state. Music itself doesn't impact a manifestation, right? Nor do any type of sounds, but what it can do is put you in a meditative state. That can help you in order to think clearly or to be able to imagine more accurately, which in and of itself will help you to manifest. So you put that music on if you have it. If not, that's perfectly fine. Sometimes I use the sound of rain. Sometimes I'll use white noise. Sometimes I'll combine them. Sometimes I'll also do classical music literally, or sometimes I'll combine any of these. The point for me that I find that works extremely effective is the fact that combining these things saturates and takes control of my attention so nothing else can. And the fact that there's nothing pressing in your attention, meaning you're not thinking about what's going on around you, you're not thinking about what's happening throughout the day. These are all very critical things to have eradicated from your attention, because otherwise when you begin to imagine, you're going to either not impress your subconscious at all, or you are going to and for the sake of this technique, which doesn't involve imagining, but it just simply involves the impression of the subconscious, you can also just impress random things that you don't want to impress, leaving half-baked manifestations. So anyway, put the music or sound on in the background, and you place your script in front of you. You remember to breathe deeply. This literally relaxes you. It has an actual ability to relax you. Endorphins are released, and it puts you in a calm and peaceful place. If you breathe out of your stomach, the blood rushes more with more depth into you, and you will receive the oxygen better, and that will bring you peace even more quickly. And this is the point, it's to center yourself. So then, in a gentle and calm voice, you read your personalized script aloud. Each word you speak and hear will be an impression on your subconscious, a seed planted in the fertile ground of your mind and the quantum field. The magic here is that you're bypassing the critical questioning conscious mind, which is extremely important. This is how you manifest, which usually blocks the beliefs and desires. And it effectively, when you bypass this, whatever is bypassed goes straight to the source where real change happens. And that source is the subconscious mind. This isn't just a theory, right? Our reality is a reflection of our internal beliefs and thoughts. The external world is a mirror of within. When we read our desires aloud, we are creating a hypnotic state in and of itself, meaning the act itself of reading as well will put us into a hypnotic state as well, where suggestibility is heightened, similar to a meditative or deeply relaxed condition, or as Neville calls it, the state akin to sleep. This is a very similar state. This is where the subconscious is most receptive to suggestion. So bypassing the conscious mind, that's what we're doing here. The conscious mind is what tends to question and not let things in. So bypassing it is what the whole goal of getting relaxed or imagining is doing. So if you can get past that, you can impress your subconscious mind. If you can impress your subconscious mind, that is how you manifest. So to supercharge this technique, you want to follow these elements effectively. So the first one is specificity. You want to articulate your desires with laser precision. I spend most of my time not constructing scenes, but essentially honing in on the exact nature of the desires. So there's no time wasted, as I say frequently, on spending your time focusing on what desire you want. If you're not specific, you're going to get unclear results. There's a verse in scripture that talks about manifesting, and it says, "Let not the double-minded man think he will receive anything from the Lord, which is your true self," the Lord being your imagination. So avoid vague phrases. If you want a specific role in your career, you name it. If you desire a particular level of income, state the exact figure. If you want to manifest a specific person, you state their name. If you want to manifest characteristics that embody a relationship or any single aspect of your life, do you want to manifest health, wealth, love, happiness, spirituality? Each of these, you want to go as specific as you possibly can without going more specific. The reason you don't want to go more specific is because if you don't actually have that desire, so in other words, some people want financial freedom, they don't necessarily want to be a millionaire, but they think that it's not specific enough to state they want financial freedom. So they'll say, I want $1 million. They're going to imagine $1 million, but that doesn't resonate with them. They have a very difficult time in impressing the subconscious mind because there's a feeling of fraudulent identification when we're imagining things we don't really care about. So be as specific as you can without being more specific. The next critical aspect is present tense. You want to speak as though your desires are already fulfilled. It's already done after the end. The rule of thumb is, this is the rule, this is the system, is pick a time after the desire has been fulfilled. In other words, if the desire has been fulfilled here, say it's to receive $1 million, you want to pick a time at least 1 second after the entirety of the desire has been fulfilled. Meaning, it's not the moment when you are getting married, it's after. It has to be a done deal. And the reason for this is in the nature of consciousness. This is in the nature of how God works within you. And that is, God replicates the contents of your consciousness. God in and of itself is consciousness. God in and of itself is creative. Holding an image within your imagination is consciousness, and God as consciousness, creative consciousness, will replicate the contents of your consciousness. In other words, to the exact tense, to the exact point of view, to the exact perception, feeling, thought, attitude, all of that will be replicated, pushed out onto the screen of space, and as it says in Scripture, it must come back to the sender, and it cannot come back unto you void. It must accomplish the exact thing that you've imagined. This will align your subconscious with the experience of the wish fulfilled, or the wish already realized, which activates that's what Neville calls. He calls the state of the wish fulfilled. And you've probably heard that before. That's what you are doing here. So key point number 3 is experiential involvement. So what is commonly a misconception is the thought that emotion is in and of itself the core aspect of what manifests. But after testing this, and you'll see this through the comments for those people who have been following along with me and my friends who have been watching my videos for years that have put this to the test, that it isn't emotion itself that manifests. You can completely omit emotion, but as long as the experiential involvement, meaning you experience it from the perception as if it's realistic. Neville says all the tones of reality, right? He doesn't say all the emotions of reality. He says all the tones of reality, which means add all the senses, sensory vividness of experiential truth. In other words, think of what it would be like if you had what you want, not what it would feel like emotionally, what it would be like. So that could mean you have gratitude, but in most cases, after the end, if it's in a time where you've already have your manifestation stably, like say it's a 1-year anniversary, you're not going to have this extreme joy and gratitude. You're going to have a stability, a plain gratitude, a sincere acceptance and knowing of who you are, what you have. That's more realistic, and it's the real experience that's going to get you the real manifestation. This is where most people go wrong, and it's because a misunderstanding of how manifesting actually works. If you put this to the test, utilize and watch my videos on and use the techniques and methods that I talk about with the list method or the bullet list. Those will prove to you within days that you do not need to feel the feeling of the wish fulfilled as the sole thing. In fact, you can omit it entirely, use just words, any function of the mind which can emulate the experience of the wish fulfilled, whether that's thoughts, whether that's the sensation of touch, smell, hearing, tasting, anything like that, even just one of those, if you can experience that with an experiential truth of it really happening, that will manifest your desire fulfilled. This imprints your desires onto the subconscious, which doesn't distinguish between perceived or real, meaning your subconscious mind will accept anything you give it. Now, how do you create these scripts? One of the most common, and this is amazing, by the way, this is what is revolutionary. This is going to change the world right here. I want to tell you specifically how you can make a script that would be exactly as Neville Goddard would make it. I'm not kidding. This is to the degree of accuracy and realistic nature of a script that Neville Goddard would write. You now too can also have that exact accuracy as well. This is introducing the Neville Goddard AI. So check it out. This is a mini version of the new Neville Goddard AI that I have developed. It does not use internet searches. You're not going to hear anything about vibration, which is what happens on the mainstream artificial intelligence apps like ChatGPT or Gemini. This literally utilizes all of Neville Goddard's teachings, his lectures, every single thing that is authentically him. What you will find in actually every single artificial intelligence platform is it uses internet searches and creates an amalgamation of similar terminologies. When you cite something saying like, be Neville Goddard and create this, it will not. You will actually, what it does is it scours the internet for the closest related terms that would also be used when people are talking about Neville. So when you search things like what would Neville Goddard say or what would he do, the problem is it's using blog posts, it's using internet searches. This is authentically Neville Goddard using all and only all of his teachings, the conscious manifestation framework. And now available in the Discord, in our Patreon, mine and Athena's Patreon. This is the first ever released in the world. And if you want to get the scripts to utilize or any method or technique from the perception of Neville Goddard, really himself in artificial intelligent form, you can do that now. So I am thrilled to introduce the Neville Goddard AI. It's not just another chatbot, it's an intelligence derived from the entirety of his teachings, right? Cross-referenced with real-world systematic methods, proven data from thousands of successful manifestations. Think of it as your manifestation coach, and you can talk to it 24/7, guiding you to create scripts that work, to use imaginal acts that work, to answer your questions, showing you how to recognize signs along your journey, and empower you with unparalleled insights. And my Patreon, in the Discord, you can chat with Neville Goddard's AI himself. So just imagine combining any technique that Neville talks about with a personal AI companion that knows precisely how to elevate your desires, amplifying each word and feeling with precision. Together, the technique and AI create a powerful loop of manifesting momentum, which helps you actualize desires faster and more consistently than ever before. This is something I have tested myself. I have conducted dozens of experiments. It actually works. I have manifested a slew of things, and a select few of my friends have utilized this as well and witnessed it actually work. Yes, I have myself, when AI came out, I started messing around with and trying to see how to make it work, with manifesting. I wondered if it even could, and it actually could. Now this, like I said, is a miniature version of what is to come in the future. I'm not going to give you more information other than that right now, but if you want to sign up for the Patreon and get on the Discord and be the first ever to use the Neville Goddard AI. Again, create imaginal acts, have him answer questions to you, chat with him about personal issues. Neville Goddard in the AI flesh, right? So I invite you, start this journey, embrace the read aloud technique, and partner with Neville Goddard AI and watch as you unfold your reality with real clarity and real purpose. I never talk about products, but this is so exciting because it's revolutionary. This is the next level of the world that we're living in, right? Imagine knowing exactly what techniques really work, using ingenious data-driven artificial intelligence to derive the truth. No longer do you have to wonder, are you doing it right? Wonder, what I'm using is actually working. I have used a lot of these different AIs before, right? I'm a software engineer, which is why I've been able to develop this. But you realize, as someone who's an expert in Neville Goddard teachings, who's been teaching him to the world for many years, you realize how limited these artificial intelligences are. But it was so thrilling to me when I first asked him a series of questions on manifesting and got real answers, put it to the test, and got real manifestations. Use this with the read aloud technique right now, right? Partner with the Neville Goddard AI and watch as you unfold your reality. This is a step-by-step, scientifically backed AI and method. I've used this time and time again. Not only have I used this for years, right? This is simply a effective combination of Neville Goddard's techniques with hypnosis, with artificial intelligence, and this works extremely well. Go in the description, go in the comments, click the link, and get signed up immediately if you're interested in this. I really hope you do. Like I said, this is a revolution. This is the beginning of a huge revolution. I encourage you to subscribe if you want more groundbreaking, revolutionary things to come, technologies to come, right? I myself, like I said, I'm a computer scientist, mathematician, physicist. I've been doing this for a long time, manifesting systematically for over 12 years. I've been developing a formula that now has backing driven from artificial intelligence itself. Also, all of this stuff is coming. This is just the beginning. I'm really excited. I hope you all like it. Like I said, subscribe if you want your manifestations, and let's make your reality filled with your desires.